Hey, Matt from the A-Team here, and I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Today on Format Film School, we're fixing common lighting mistakes. Let's go. When you're lighting a scene, there's no one right way of doing things. Even the things that people tell you never to do with your lighting can sometimes work in a scene, or they might be unavoidable based on the nature of the setup. But there are a few things that will look bad no matter when they're used. So today, we're showing you what those things are and how to fix them so that your lighting will always look great. Let's check it out. So for our first light, we have the 300x set up with a for now modifier pointed down at our subject. But there's a few issues with this setup. First, because of the position of the light itself, it's creating really harsh shadows under his eyes. Second, because we had set the light too bright, we're actually overexposing his face. But there's a few things we can do to correct this. First, we fix the exposure by dimming down our light and then checking that exposure using false color on our camera. Now to fix the eye light issue, we kept the 300x where it's at and added an Aputure MC placed right in front of our talent and dimmed it down as low as possible. This created a nice eye light in the actor's eyes without washing out his face. Another thing you can do to fix the harsh shadows and the eye light is to actually reposition your key light. In our case, we're using the Nova P300C, and we repositioned it about 45 degrees to the actor's face. This gives some dimension to the actor's face while being frontal enough to fill in the eyes. Then to check exposure, we used false coloring again on our camera and dialed down our light until we got the nice exposure we were looking for. Another issue you might run into is having your character blend in with the background. In our case, our talent is wearing a black shirt, and you can't really tell which is the talent and what's the dark backdrop. One solution, however, is to create a backlight. In our case, we're using the Aputure MC. This separates him from the background because it's literally creating a line of light on his shoulder. Another solution is to create separation between the foreground and the background through contrast. In our case, we're using the Aputure F7 to illuminate the background. This is just shining light onto the background and avoiding any spillage onto his shoulder. So now we can see the outline of his shoulder, creating nice separation. So now let's take a look at these lighting errors and how we fix them. Alrighty, time for a recap. When lighting a scene, there are 3 mistakes you want to avoid. First, never overexpose the subject's face. The face is the most important part of your frame because it's what the viewers are drawn to most. So make sure you don't lose any information by clipping the highlights. Second, make sure the eyes aren't in deep shadow. When there's no reflection in the eye of the character, they can look lifeless and it's hard for the audience to connect with them. And third, don't let your subject blend in with the background. Creating some form of separation, whether with contrast or with a backlight, will make the shot more visually appealing. Comic question of the week: what is a lighting mistake that you absolutely hate seeing in movies? Let us know in the comments below for a chance to win an Aputure M9. Also, while you're there, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more tutorials. I've been Matt with the A-Team. Thanks for watching Format Film School, and happy shooting!